Bakura had an awesome deck going into Battle City. He had his Dark Necrophilia and Dark Sanctuary combo, which caused the opponent to beat themselves. And of course, his Destiny board instant win combo, which was pretty awesome for the time. And in general, just had some decent cards in his deck. Yet, somehow, he fumbled the bag in the first round of the tournament. Yes, it was against the main character, so you can't really blame him, but that made me wonder, if I was Yami Bakura and I dueled with his deck, could I have taken him to become the Battle City champion? To find out, I need to take over the body of Yami Bakura. How am I going to do that? Well, like so. Hello, everybody. Oh, no, it's the wrong voice. It's, I am a stealer of souls. I am Yami Bakura. With Yami Bakura's hair, the incredible Millennium Ring. It points to whatever I want, and the whole costume is here. The rules for this are, I use Bakura's anime deck. My opening hands and draws are completely randomized, and to make sure they're random, I did them all live on stream at twitch.tv/tgsanime. Opponents will always open their original hands and draw the same cards they did in the duels I'm replacing someone with. I only have knowledge of the opponent that Bakura would have. And finally, I'm going to try and commit to Yami Bakura's voice throughout this entire video. It really hurts my throat, so we'll see how this goes. Without further ado, let's jump into the duels. The duel begins and I go first. I draw. My opening hand consists of the Portrait Secret, Gross Ghost of Fled Dreams, Headless Knight, Dark Necrophilia, the Dark Door, and Dark Spirit of the Silent. I'll set my Gross Ghost in face-down defense, along with my Dark Spirit of the Silent. With 1800 defense, Yugioh will struggle to get around that. And with my trap card, make it even harder. I'll end my turn there. It's Yugioh's turn, and he draws. His opening hand consists of Gazelle, the King of Mythical Beasts, Magic Formula, Collected Power, Card Destruction, Defusion, and Exile of the Wicked. Yugioh summons his Gazelle into attack. He enters his battle phase and attacks the set Gross Ghost of Fled Dreams. With 1800 defense, it is not destroyed, and Yugioh instead takes the damage. Yugioh moves into his main phase 2 and sets Magic Formula face down and ends his turn. It's back to me and I draw the Dark Sanctuary. Unfortunately, I'm pretty limited with what I can do here. I can't go on the attack as none of my monsters can get over Yugioh's Gazelle. I can't summon my Dark Necrophilia until I have 3 fiends in my grave. And I also can't use my field spell until Dark Necrophilia is in the grave. For now, I'll be defensive. I'll set my Headless Knight face down and end my turn. It's Yugioh's turn, and he draws Gamma the Magnet Warrior. He summons it into attack. Yugioh moves into his battle phase and attacks the set Headless Knight with Gazelle. It's flipped up, but with 1700 defense, it is not destroyed. Yugioh takes a further 200 damage. However, Yugioh anticipated another high defense point fiend monster, and so activates his Exile of the Wicked spell in his hand as a quick play thanks to Battle City rules. Now, all face-up fiend monsters are destroyed. Bakura's Headless Knight and Gross Ghost are destroyed. Yugioh attacks Bakura directly with Gamma the Magnet Warrior. Bakura takes 1500 damage. Yugioh ends his turn. Impressive, Yugioh, you decimated my field. However, I draw. Yes, the Destiny board. Finally. Now, with this hand, I want to activate my Dark Door to limit Yugioh to only attacking once per turn. But I can't take that risk. It'll clog up my spell and trap zones. Don't want to do that with Destiny board. My Dark Sanctuary would solve this, but I can't use it until Dark Necrophilia is in the grave. I only need one more fiend. Perhaps I should take a risk. I summon my Portrait Secret into attack. Go, Portrait! Attack Yugioh's Gazelle. My monster is destroyed and I take 300 damage. But with 3 fiend monsters in the grave, I move into my main phase 2 and banish all 3. I summon my Dark Necrophilia. I'll set my Destiny board trap face down and end my turn. It's Yugioh's turn, and he draws Monster Reborn. Yugioh, wanting to refresh his hand, sets his Monster Reborn face down and then activates Card Destruction. Both players now discard their entire hands and then redraws the same number of cards that were sent. Yugioh discards 2 cards, Collected Power and Defusion. He draws and gets Dark Magician Girl and Kuribo. I discard 2 cards, the Dark Door and Dark Sanctuary. I draw and get Earthbound Spirit and Dark Spirit of the Silent. Luckily for me, Dark Sanctuary can even be activated from the grave if my Dark Necrofear goes to the grave. Yugi tributes his Gazelle to summon Dark Magician Girl. He then activates his set Magic Formula, increasing a spellcaster monster's attack by 500. With 2500 attack, Yugi enters his battle phase and attacks Dark Necrofear. I'm tempted to let you destroy my Necrofear to get my Dark Sanctuary in play. But I've got a pretty good thing going here. I'll play my trap card, Dark Spirit of the Silent. Now your Dark Magician Girl's attack is negated, and a spooky ghost possesses your Gamma. This forces it to attack instead. And since my Dark Necrofear is stronger, your monster is destroyed. Yugi takes 700 damage. With no more plays, Yugi ends his turn here. Whoa, hold on there, Yugi, but I'm not done. I activate my trap card, Destiny Board. Now, every time you end your turn, I get to activate a new piece of Destiny Board. I place Spirit Message E onto my field. Once I place all 5 special cards, Yugi, well, you'll see what happens then. It's my turn, and I draw Sangan. Now, while I want my Dark Necrofear to be destroyed, so I can do all my plays and everything, 2800 defense is pretty impressive. I'm happy to kind of sit on this for a bit, so I'll switch my Dark Necrofear into defense. I'll also set my Sangan into defense, and I'll save my Dark Spirit for a later turn. Too risky with Destiny Board on the field. I end my turn. Clock's ticking, Yugi. Let's see if you can beat me before your time's up. It's Yugi's turn, and he draws Big Shield Gardener. He sets it face down into defense, and then attacks Bakura's set monster with Dark Magician Girl. Sangan is destroyed. My Sangan special ability activates when it's destroyed. I can add a monster with 1500 or less attack to my hand. I have 3 good options here: Jogan the Spiritualist, Morphing Jar, and Puppet Master. The card that makes the most sense is Jogan. It's got good play for later. I know Dark Magician Girl was Tribute Summon, but it might come in handy at some point. Yugi ends his turn. Yet again, Yugi, I'll play Destiny Board. I add another Spirit Message to the field. I place Spirit Message A. It's my turn, and I draw Souls of the Forgotten. Yugi still hasn't dealt with my 2800 defense Dark Necrofear, so I feel pretty safe. 2 more turns and I win. I'll set my Souls of the Forgotten face down and end my turn. It's Yugi's turn, and he draws Baphomet. Yugi currently has Baphomet and Kuribo in his hand, with Monster Reborn set on his field. Since there is nothing in either player's graveyard that can be brought back to get over Dark Necrofear, Yugi is forced to enter his battle phase and attack the set monster. It's revealed to be Souls of the Forgotten. It's destroyed. Yugi, with no more plays, ends his turn. Here we go again. Destiny Board places another Spirit Message. I place Spirit Message T. I think you know what Destiny Board is spelling, Yugi, and it's coming for you. It's my turn, and I draw the Earl of Demise. This is it. All comes down to what Yugi draws next. I'll set my Earthbound Spirit face down, just in case, and end my turn. Good luck, Yugi. It's Yugi's turn, and the final turn of the duel. He draws and gets Slifer the Sky Dragon. Unfortunately, with no way to win this turn or to destroy Destiny Board, Yugi decides to go out on a high. He activates Monster Reborn to bring back his Gamma the Magnet Warrior. He then tributes Gamma, Dark Magician Girl, and Big Shield Gardener to summon Slifer the Sky Dragon. Due to Slifer's effect, it gains 1000 attack for every card in Yugi's hand. Unfortunately, with only 2 cards, Slifer's attack is a mere 2000. Unable to get over the 2800 defense Dark Necrofear, and having drawn no spell or trap removal, Yugi is forced to end his turn. Ha 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 ha! It's time to die, Yugi. I play Destiny Board for the final time. I play Spirit Message H. D-E-A-T-H. Death. Due to the effect of Destiny Board, since all 5 pieces were placed in order, Bakura instantly wins the duel. Bakura moves into the second round of Battle City and wins Slifer the Sky Dragon off of Yugi. You're lucky this wasn't a shadow game, Yugi, but I wasn't after your Millennium Puzzle this time for some reason, so you get to live for another day. But now I possess Slifer, the Sky Dragon.
Also available at Figures if you want to get some. You can use my discount code right here. There'll be more of these popping up out of the Egyptian gods, but get them if you fancy. They're magnetic, they pop off, they stick to walls. Thanks for watching. Kaiba, annoyed that he wasn't the one to defeat Yugi, goes on to beat Ishizu. Marek, also annoyed that he wasn't the one to defeat the Pharaoh in this tournament, obliterates My Valentine. Joey, also annoyed he couldn't meet Yugi in the finals, defeats Odeon, with the new promise that he will now try to win the Battle City tournament. Kaiba reveals to determine who duels who in the next round, we have to have a Battle Royale. And so, the Battle Royale begins. Bakura versus Kaiba versus Joey versus Marek. To begin the duel, everybody must reveal a monster in their deck. Whatever they reveal is removed from their deck, but whoever reveals the highest attack point monster gets to go first, and so on. Kaiba reveals his 3300 attack Masked Beast, so he goes first. Marek goes second with a 1700 attack Lakunga. Bakura goes third after revealing Souls of the Forgotten with 1000 attack. And Joey goes last after revealing his 500 attack Swordsman of Landstar. And so, the Battle Royale begins and Kaiba goes first. He draws and his opening hand consists of Force Raider, Blue Eyes White Dragon, Pot of Greed, Ring of Defense, Ring of Destruction, and Attack Guidance Armor. Kaiba sets his Attack Guidance Armor face down and then summons his Force Raider into attack and ends his turn. It's Marek's turn, and he draws. His opening hand consists of Newdoria, Lord Poison, Dark Jogan, Legendary Fiend, Hellpoma, and Spell of Pain. Marek summons his Newdoria into defense and ends his turn.
It's my turn, and I draw. My opening hand consists of Earl of Demise, Sangan, Earth Spirit, Graceful Charity, Spirit Message T, and Multiple Destruction. I'll start by activating my Graceful Charity. I draw 3 new cards. I get the Shallow Grave, Dark Spirit of the Silent, and Dark Ruler Hades. I'll send my Multiple Destruction and Sangan to the grave. Now I'll activate the Shallow Grave to bring back my Sangan. Nobody else can bring back a monster since there's nothing in their graves, and this is the anime, so it's fine. But I'm still not done. I'll tribute Sangan to summon my Dark Ruler Hades. Sangan's effect activates, letting me add a monster with 1500 or less to my hand. I'll add Jogan the Spiritualist. I'll set Dark Spirit of the Silent face down and end my turn.
It's Joey's turn, and he draws. His opening hand consists of Skull Dice, Legendary Fisherman, Foolish Burial, Jinzo, Insect Queen, and Grave Robber. With very little options, Joey sets his Grave Robber face down and ends his turn. It's Kaiba's turn, and he draws Shrink. With the battle phase now online, Kaiba decides that he wants Bakura to be his opponent in the next round, as he believes to defeat Marek, he will need Slifer's power. So he plans to eliminate Joey and Marek first. As such, he orders Force Raider to attack Joey directly. Joey, with no ways to defend himself, takes 1900 direct damage. Kaiba ends his turn. It's Marek's turn, and he draws Mirror Force. Marek is in a bit of a funk here. One of his main purposes in the tournament was to kill the Pharaoh, but now he has to wait until after the tournament to do it. So Marek decides that he's just gonna kill everybody that Yugi holds dear to him. He sets his Mirror Force face down and summons his Lord of Poison into attack. He then switches Newdoria into attack and uses it to attack Kaiba's Force Raider. Newdoria is destroyed, but due to its effect, Force Raider is also destroyed. Before Marek would take 700 damage, he uses his Spell of Pain to redirect the damage to Joey instead. Marek uses Lord Poison to attack Joey directly, attempting to defeat Joey. However, Joey activates his Grave Robber Trap, which steals a card in Marek's grave. He takes Spell of Pain. He activates it to redirect the damage back to Marek. Marek instead takes the 1500 damage. Marek ends his turn.
It's my turn, and I draw the Dark Door. Now, Kaiba and Marek both have set cards. Scary. Who do I want to make my foe? Well, having 2 Egyptian god cards to go against Marek makes sense. I'll try and defeat Marek and play Kaiba here, so Kaiba's my teammate. Joey is wide open for a direct attack, so it's best to remove a possible obstacle here. Go! Dark Ruler Hades, attack Joey directly.
Joey, unable to defend himself, is the first duelist to be eliminated.
I'll set my Earthbound Spirits in face-down defense and end my turn.
It's back to Kaiba, and he draws Blade Knight. He sets his Pot of Greed, Ring of Destruction, Ring of Defense, and Shrink face down, and then summons Blade Knight into attack. Due to Blade Knight being on the field with one or fewer cards in Kaiba's hand, its attack increases by 400. Kaiba uses Blade Knight to attack Marik's Lord of Poison. Marik, in response, activates his Mirror Force to destroy all monsters that Kaiba controls in a tap position. Kaiba's Blade Knight is destroyed. Kaiba ends his turn. It's Marik's turn, and he draws Lava Golem. Marik summons his Dark Gyroid into attack, then uses its effect to reduce the attack of a monster by 800. He chooses Bakura's Dark Ruler Hades. Marik enters this battle phase and attacks Kaiba directly with Lord Poison. However, Kaiba in response activates his Ring of Destruction, followed by Ring of Defense. Kaiba destroys Marik's Lord Poison. Both duelists would take 1500 damage, but due to Ring of Defense, only Marik takes the damage. Marik follows up by attacking Kaiba directly with Dark Gyroid. Kaiba takes 1200 damage. Marik ends his turn.
It's my turn, and I draw Ectoplasma. I think I'll give Kaiba a hand here. I'll tribute my Earthbound Spirit to summon Earl of Demise. Go, Earl of Demise, attack Marik's Dark Gyroid.
Kaiba, in response, activates Shrink to halve the attack of Marik's monster. With only 600 attack points, Marik is eliminated through the battle damage. He is placed into the second bracket with Joey Wheeler. Kaiba and Bakura as the winners are placed in the first bracket. It is now time for Bakura versus Kaiba in the semi-finals.
The duel begins and I go first. I draw. My opening hand consists of Earl of Demise, Goblin Spirit, Gross Ghost of Fled Dreams, Earthbound Spirits, Graceful Charity, and Spirit Message T. I'll start by activating Graceful Charity. I draw 3 cards, then discard 2. I get the Dark Door, Dark Necrophere, and Spirit Message H. I'll discard my Gross Ghost and Goblin Zombie. I'll set Earthbound Spirit face down and then activate the Dark Door. Now, while this card is on the field, Kaiba can only attack with 1 monster on his field per turn. I can attack as many times as I want. I'll end my turn.
It's Kaiba's turn, and he draws. His opening hand consists of Obelisk the Tormentor, X-Head Cannon, Spell Sanctuary, Lullaby of Obedience, Power Balance, and Enemy Controller. Kaiba summons his X-Head Cannon to the field. He then activates Spell Sanctuary, which lets both players add a spell from their deck straight to their hand.
I'll add my favorite card, Change of Heart.
Kaiba adds Soul Exchange. Kaiba chooses not to attack Bakura's set monster, as he wants Bakura to have 3 monsters on the field, so he can use Soul Exchange to tribute all of them for Obelisk. Kaiba ends his turn by setting Enemy Controller face down.
Suspicious, he didn't attack my monster, but I draw Ectoplasma. If you won't attack me, Kaiba, I'll attack you. I'll tribute my face down monster to summon my Earl of Demise. That's a second fiend monster in my grave. My Dark Necrophere grows ever closer. Go, Earl of Demise, destroy X-Head Cannon.
In response to Bakura attacking X-Head Cannon, Kaiba activates his Enemy Controller. He pays 1000 life points and enters up, left, down, right, so that Earl of Demise is destroyed.
Well then, I guess that's 3 fiend monsters in my grave now. I'll banish all 3 to summon Dark Necrophere into defense. I'll set Change of Heart face down and end my turn.
It's Kaiba's turn, and he draws Interdimensional Matter Transporter. Kaiba, without any summonable monsters, and hoping Bakura will summon 1 more monster that Soul Exchange can become live for his Obelisk, sets Soul Exchange and Interdimensional Matter Transporter face down, and ends his turn.
It's my turn, and the final turn of the duel. I draw and get Pot of Greed. I'll activate it to let me draw 2 new cards. I get Spiritualistic Medium and Destiny Board. Kaiba has a lot of set cards. Scary, but I can win this turn. Might as well take a risk. I play Change of Heart. I take control of X-Head Cannon.
In response to this, Kaiba uses his Interdimensional Matter Transporter to banish X-Head Cannon before it can be moved to Bakura's side of the field.
That was almost a good play, Kaiba. I'll switch my Dark Necrophere into attack and attack you directly. You survive by 800 life points. However, I play Ectoplasma. Now, during our end phases, we contribute a monster, and half that monster's damage is dealt as damage to the opponent. So, I end my turn. I tribute Dark Necrophere to inflict 1100 damage to you. Ectoplasmic goo! Kill Kaiba!
Unfortunately, with no way to save himself, Kaiba is eliminated. Bakura wins the duel.
As per the rules, take my rarest card.
As a result of winning, Bakura gets to take Obelisk the Tormentor from Kaiba.
I have 2 Egyptian god cards now! Ha 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 ha! Obelisk and Slifer. My deck is almost complete. Just need to get Ra.
And I'd just like to break the fourth wall here for a moment. I hope you don't mind the voice, by the way, because it's absolutely killing me to do. I'll probably never do this again. Now, I understand from a narrative perspective that Kaiba being beaten without getting Obelisk Tormentor sucks, but that is not the point of this video, by the way, and these kind of videos that I make, because it's about what would happen realistically in a duel if I went all out without playing to the anime logic and what the plot makes for the best possible duel. So, yes, it sucks that Kaiba never got out Obelisk. Does it make sense for him to still do the same strategy against me that he would have against Yugi? It worked against Yugi, just didn't work against me. I was very close to getting 3 monsters out. It's just that I attributed a monster with Earthbound Spirit, so it didn't work out that way. So yeah, sorry if it's a little bit lackluster, but that's just reality, unfortunately. Playing by real world rules. Anyway,
Right, it's time for the Battle City Finals. Me versus Marek.
Yes, suffer well,
Bakura.
and hope with all of your soul that Ra ends up on the bottom.
the duel begins and Marek goes first. He draws. His opening hand consists of the Winged Dragon of Ra, Vampiric Leech, Yugioh, Dark Spell Regeneration, Zombie Jewel, and Vengeful Bog Spirit. Marek summons his Vampiric Leech to the field. Due to this card's effect, it can attack on the first turn, and so it attacks Bakura directly. Bakura takes the first damage of the duel. Marek sets his Zombie Jewel trap face down, and as the turn comes to an end, uses the second effect of Vampiric Leech, which is, by discarding a card, he can switch it into defense. Marek discards his Winged Dragon of Ra.
It's my turn, and I draw. My opening hand consists of Slifer, the Sky Dragon, Jogan, the Spiritualist, Dark King, Gross Ghost of Fled Dreams, the Shallow Grave, and Spiritualistic Medium. Taking damage on turn 1, wolfed. I didn't actually see what Marek sent to the grave. Due to Battle City rules, the graveyard is not public knowledge, so what could that have been? Now, Slifer is a powerful card. I do want to summon this, but I need to make sure I don't get Egyptian God Tunnel Vision, which is where you focus a bit too hard on this card and you forget your actual win conditions. Especially since Slifer costs so many resources to summon, and it needs card advantage to be strong. For now, I'll play defensive. I'll set my Gross Ghost of Fled Dreams into defense and end my turn.
It's Marek's turn, and he draws Left Arm Offering. Marek summons his Yugioh. He uses Yugioh to attack the set monster. It's revealed to be Gross Ghost of Fled Dreams with 1800 defense. Since it has stronger defense, Marek takes 100 damage. Marek sets his Dark Spell Regeneration and Left Arm Offering face down and ends his turn.
It's my turn, and I draw Dark Spirit of the Silent.
Marek, in response, immediately shotgun activates his set trap, Left Arm Offering. He discards his entire hand to add a spell card from his deck to his hand. He adds Monster Reborn after discarding his hand.
Right, that's told me everything I need to know. There's a Winged Dragon of Ra in that grave, and he's got Monster Reborn in hand, so I'm in big trouble on the next turn. Now I think about it, my Shallow Grave. If I use it, he'll bring back the Winged Dragon of Ra. This card's effectively dead in this duel now. That's a huge shame. However, if my weakness with Slifer is card advantage, then Ra's weakness is life point disadvantage. So, can I do a lot of damage here? I think it's in my best interest to do as much as I can, so Ra is weak. Plus, if I get him below 1000, he can't use his Phoenix mode. That would be great.
As a little reminder, the Winged Dragon of Ra has many special abilities. If it is special summoned from the grave, at the cost of 1000 life points, it can enter Phoenix mode, which can destroy any monster on the field. It also becomes immune to everything. Also, whenever it is summoned, it can attack instantly on summon, even during opponent's turns. It can also attack all monsters the opponent controls when it does this. And it does have a bunch of other abilities.
Damage is the key to winning this duel. So I'm sorry, Slifer, but you've got to be a sacrifice. If you got rid of your entire hand, Marek, I'll do the same. I'll set my Shallow Grave face down, switch my Gross Ghost into attack, and activate Spiritualistic Medium. I discard my entire hand to increase the attack of my Gross Ghost by 500 for every card I discard. I discard 4 cards: Slifer, the Sky Dragon, Jogan the Spiritualist, Dark King of the Abyss, and Dark Spirit of the Silent. Gross Ghost's attack becomes 3,300. Here goes. Gross Ghost, destroy Yugioh.
The attack is successful. Yugioh is destroyed, and Marek takes 1,600 damage. Marek's monster advantage and life points are both lowered.
This is a big risk. I have no hand now, and my Gross Ghost attack returns to normal when I end my turn. I do have a plan though. I'll end my turn.
It's Marek's turn, and he draws Card of Sanctity. He sets his Monster Reborn face down and then activates it. Now, both players draw until they hold 6 cards. Marek draws 6 new cards. He gets Jam Defender, Polymerization, Granadora, Class System, Bait Doll, and Mask of Remnants.
Thank you very much, Marek. I'll also draw 6 new cards. I get the Change of Heart, Portrait Secret, Graceful Charity, Obelisk the Tormentor, Dark Necrofear, and Dark Spirit of the Silent.
With all the pieces in place, Marek goes for game. He then activates Monster Reborn. He brings back the Winged Dragon of Ra into attack. He uses its instant win effect. He gives it all but one of his life points to increase its attack to 2,299. Due to Ra's effect, when summoned this way, it can attack all monsters the opponent controls. He summons his 1900 attack, Granadora, and switches his Vampiric Leech into attack. Unfazed by BAKURA's set card, since Ra is immune to trap cards, he attacks the Gross Ghost of Fled Dreams with Ra.
You're a fool, Marek. I knew you'd use Monster Reborn and take your Ra out the grave to go for game. So I play Shallow Grave. We both summon a monster in our graves into face-up defense. My original plan was to bring back Jogan the Spiritualist in response to you activating Monster Reborn. See, Jogan negates special summons, so that would mean you would need to use my Shallow Graves ability to bring back your Winged Dragon of Ra, but that would have meant you have to summon it into defense, which means you can't go for game like you're trying to do now. So that was the original plan, but you used Card of Sanctity, which helped me a bunch, so I have a new plan, and an even better plan. I bring back Slifer, the Sky Dragon.
Marek summons his 1700 attack Yugioh into defense. Due to Egyptian gods' effects, when they're brought back into defense during the middle of an attack, it becomes the new attack target.
And thanks to you giving me 6 cards in hand, Slifer's defense is 6,000.
Marek, unable to cancel his attack, is forced to attack Slifer with Ra. If this attack is successful, with only 1 life point left, Marek will lose the duel.
Ha 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 ha! Defeated by Slifer. You're a fool. I win this duel.
However, Marek activates the second ability of the Winged Dragon of Ra. Its quick effect tributes all his other monsters on the field to increase the attack of Ra. Marek tributes Yugioh, Granadora, and Vampiric Leech to increase Ra's attack by 4,100. Now, with a 6,399 attack, Winged Dragon of Ra, it's strong enough to attack and destroy Slifer the Sky Dragon. Luckily for BAKURA, since Marek already attempted to attack Gross Ghost of Fled Dreams and had its attack redirected, he can't attack that monster again due to Slifer diverting the attack. And so, with no further plays, Marek is forced to end his turn here. As he does, the Winged Dragon of Ra goes back to the grave.
I thought I was going to win that turn. I draw Premature Burial. I activate Graceful Charity. I draw 3 cards and discard 2. I draw and get Headless Knight, Dark Ruler Hades, and Souls of the Forgotten. I'll send Souls and Portrait Secret to the grave. In response to BAKURA using a spell, Marek uses his set Zombie Jewel Trap, which takes Graceful Charity and adds it to Marek's hand. However, by doing this, BAKURA can now draw a card. Thank you. I draw and get Spirit Message T. Trash. Okay, Marek only has 1 card on the field now, which is good. But what if it's something that brings something back and I don't win this turn? I've got a monster in attack. There's so much to consider. I banish Dark King of the Abyss, Portrait Secret, and Souls of the Forgotten to summon Dark Necrofear into attack. Finally, I'll activate Premature Burial at the cost of 800 life points. Sadly, I can't bring back Slifer, since equip cards don't work on god cards. So I'll bring back the only monster I have left in there, Jogan the Spiritualist. Turns out I did need 2 Egyptian god cards to beat Marek. That's kind of crazy. With 3 monsters on my side of the field, I tribute all 3 to summon Obelisk, the Tormentor. I'll enter my battle phase. Go, Obelisk. Attack Marek directly and win me this duel.
Marek, in response, activates his set spell, Dark Spell Regeneration. When attacked, Marek can activate the effect of a spell card in either player's graveyard. He activates Monster Reborn to bring back Slifer into defense onto his field. Obelisk's attack is redirected to Slifer thanks to the Egyptian god's defensive abilities. With 6,000 defense, BAKURA takes 2,000 damage.
You would use my own strategy against me? Bah! That's a lot of damage.
BAKURA was unable to use his Change of Heart on Slifer since god cards can't switch control.
Fair play to Marek. With 1 life point, his survivability here has been pretty incredible. But can he keep it up? I'll set my Change of Heart and Dark Spirit of the Silent face down and end my turn.
As the turn comes to an end, Slifer the Sky Dragon returns to the graveyard. It's Marek's turn, and he draws Metal Reflect Slime. Marek uses the graceful charity he stole from BAKURA's grave. He draws and gets Revival Jam, Boganian, and Magical Stone Excavation. He discards his Bait Doll and Mask of Remnants. He activates Magical Stone Excavation, he discards his Class System and Jam Defender to add back Monster Reborn in his grave. However, it can't be activated this turn. So he sets it face down and then summons Revival Jam into defense. Believing he has an immortal monster, Revival Jam, Marek ends his turn. Note, the reason why Marek has not used the Metal Reflect Jam Defender Polymerization combo is because Metal Reflect Slime in the anime requires massive damage first in order to be activated. And to make the Fusion Slime monster, you need Metal Reflect Slime to be on the field.
It's my turn, and I draw Destiny Board. Better late than never. That set card is obviously Monster Reborn, so I need to be careful. And with Revival Jam, it's impossible for me to attack him directly. However, my Dark Ruler Hades negates monster effects it destroys, so I can deal with it that way. But I have an even better play. My favorite card is going to win me this duel. I play Change of Heart. I take control of your Revival Jam. I switch it into attack. Watch Marek as your own monster betrays you. Go, Obelisk! Attack Marek directly. Fist of Fate.
In response, Marek activates Monster Reborn for the final time. Of all the options he has in either player's grave, nothing is able to keep him in this duel. Slifer would only have 3,000 attack and defense, and without 1,000 life points, Ra can't use its Immortal Phoenix ability. Marek decides to bring his Winged Dragon of Ra out for the final time.
Obelisk, clear the way! Destroy the Winged Dragon of Ra!
Completely wide open for a direct attack, BAKURA attacks Marek directly.
Go! Revival Jam! Win me this duel.
Marek's life points drop to 0. Evil Marek is banished to the Shadow Realm. BAKURA is the Duel Monsters Battle City champion.
I've done it! All 3 Egyptian god cards! Zork Necrophades would be proud.
Oh my god, this was so difficult to make. In multiple ways. First of all, the costume. I hope you didn't mind. Hair is an absolute nightmare. The voice really hurt me. I'm sorry if it sounded awful, but God forbid that I start editing this video and it sounds really bad. Can I just say as well, Anime Ra is just so damn broken. It's got way too many effects. It's ridiculous. It was so hard to write the video for it. This is officially the most difficult video I have ever made. So if you subscribe to the channel, it would mean the world to me. It's so cool to be a Battle City champion though. That's really cool. Huge shout out to a friend of the channel, Pixels and Polymer. I actually asked them if they could make me a Millennium ring and they absolutely did amazing. They did such a good job of it. It's really, really cool. So I'll leave a link if you want to check them out. If you want anything 3D printed yourselves, they have some really awesome items. As a little treat, here are the quarter, semi, and final duels in real time, which obviously I was capturing to help me show what was happening during turns, but enjoy. thank you so much for watching. You've all been absolutely awesome. Have a good day, everybody. Catch you later. Bye, everyone.